Welcome to Women Being Loved, a weekly podcast and upcoming book series to help you and other women 35 and beyond attract deep, passionate, lasting love while honoring your authentic self. I'm Tadra, your host. Hello, lovelies. I'm so happy to have time with you today. Welcome or welcome back. Today's topic is trusting the timing of your life. I'm going to say that again. Trusting the timing of your life. So recently I came across a photo of me wearing a t-shirt that I bought right after I had made the decision, along with my husband, who at the time was my boyfriend, to sell all of our possessions, give up our apartment in LA, and travel the world indefinitely. So I don't normally wear t-shirts. It's just not my thing, right? Nothing against folks that wear t-shirts. It's just not me. But I was in the Gap in Santa Monica, California, looking for travel-friendly clothing because the idea was I was going to be traveling with just a small carry-on. So I really had to be intentional about clothing. When I saw this t-shirt, it just arrested me. The shirt read in sparkly silver letters across the boobs, "Trust the timing of your life." Hence the topic for today. And in that moment, it felt like everyone else in the store just disappeared. And the universe was saying this specifically to me because here I was at 50 years old. Yes, people, 50, about to do what other people normally do in their 20s. So everyone tells you if you're going to backpack through Europe or Southeast Asia or South America to do that right before you get into college. So it's like this gap year thing, or right after college, like directly after college, before you take on a mortgage or, marriage or a family. The idea being that you will never get to live a broad spectrum life after you have settled into society's template. I'm going to give you a free tip here. That does not have to be true. Okay. But here I was, again, at 50 years old, about to embark on this incredible adventure of the unknown, honestly. And I was damn well excited about it. So I bought the shirt. Looking at the photo this week of me in that t-shirt reminds me still that I have never done things in the timing that I'm told is correct. Now, I haven't done that on purpose. I wasn't like some rebellious, it wasn't based on like me trying to push back. I just didn't always know how to follow a prescribed path, even if I wanted to. And sometimes life just didn't give me that option, to be really frank. It has taken me a lot of self-introspection to even know what I want and how to get it. And some things, no matter how much we want them, we can't control when they come into our lives, such as love. Can I get an amen? Or even like the career that's going to light us up. I mean, we might go to college and we might study for something in particular and then get out and realize, this ain't it. You don't know till you know. Our society is very much enamored with youth and with young people doing things, whatever those things are. And also our society is really obsessed with prescribing, particularly for women, when we should hit certain life milestones. When I wasn't married by 30, there were subtle messages that there must be something wrong with me. And of course, we still do that to women. You know me. Well, if you've been here any amount of time checking out my podcast, you know me. I am pro-love. I am pro-marriage. I am even pro-motherhood, even though it's not for me. I am gleefully, blissfully child-free, and it is by far the best decision I have made. But if a woman wants any of those things or none of those things, It's her life. And I am going to cheer her and you on, sis, because it's nobody else's decision. If this is your first time here, let me give you a little context, a little backstory. I'm working on a book of true love stories from women who found their greatest loves at 35 or later. So that doesn't mean they weren't married before any of that stuff. The greatest, most amazing love they've ever had in their lives, they found at 35 or later. So I've been interviewing women, hearing their love stories, and quite frankly, learning from them. The beautiful part for me of listening to all of these stories is just how diverse the women's experiences are. And I now have all this data, if you will, that I've collected from the interviews that I can study. And I'll tell you, there are a lot of women that I've interviewed who married straight out of high school because it was a thing for sure, like say 40 years ago. But many of these women did not remain in those first marriages for various reasons. But the number one reason being that they didn't know themselves. But once they began to grow into themselves and know who they are and what they want, contorting themselves into a template society destined for them no longer worked. They became aware of who they are and their humanity, aside from a role or a template. Self-actualized women scare society. But on a personal level, a self-actualized woman is powerful and capable of creating her own joy. In order to get to this point, however, we've got to trust the timing of our lives. We can't rush self-actualization. We just can't. It unfolds for us based on the experiences that we have, how closely we pay attention to those experiences, and the messages that are wrapped inside of those experiences. I've been in relationships where God tried over and over again to show me how futile what I was doing actually was. But you know what? I wasn't ready to see it just yet. I couldn't. But when I was ready, I moved swiftly and decisively away from those relationships. And you know what else? I grew by leaps and bounds all in one season because I made this huge shift, this huge adjustment. And then I had those lessons to take into the next season and then make better choices. A few of the women that I've, let's say, studied, if you will, hit their 40s without ever being married. And it was really interesting to hear what they went through initially as each year passed, and then how there was this moment, something that someone said to them, or they went on a trip and it changed their perspective, or they read something somewhere where something shifted and they went from being stressful and in desperation mode to just possessing peace and trusting the timing of their lives. We're gonna get back to that continually. And although they wanted love, they weren't like, oh no. I'm not looking to be in a relationship at all. They weren't like that. But they didn't pursue it like it was the air they needed to breathe. They were just open. I love what one woman told me. I think her name was Susie. She said that as a young woman in the 70s, that she was in her like mid to late 20s and she was unmarried and she was starting to panic. And the next thing that happened was really beautiful. Her grandmother, a very modern woman for the time, told her, you don't have to be married to be happy. Oh, well, there's a revelation, right? That one statement shifted how her granddaughter approached love and life. She ended up buying a house of her own. She lived with very broad strokes. She enjoyed her singleness. And then at 35, she met the man of her dreams and she was ready. and they have been married for 30 years. Okay, 30 years. Many divorced women that I spoke with had their own epiphanies. They started out from a place of, okay, what do I do now? Like, this certainly didn't turn out the way I thought. Should I expect love again? Just what do I do? But they finally got to a point where they danced in their singleness and they explored things that they hadn't when they were not living as their full selves. You may know inside that you don't fit the template, and that scares you. So you rush towards whatever it is you think you should desire just so you can fit in. Marriage is a big one. It was definitely the thing that I did to fit in and to signal to the world that I was lovable and that someone wanted to choose me. It didn't end well. I was trying to rush into a stage of life for the absolute wrong reasons. If I had known myself better, had higher self-esteem, and trusted the timing of my life, I would have made different choices for sure. Now I'm married to someone who loves me deeply, honors our commitment to each other, and treats me with respect. But, if I'm honest, I still battle regret over all the times that I didn't trust the timing of my life, because the decisions I made from that space affected my life and it changed my trajectory. But here's the thing, even now with this changed trajectory, I still have to trust the timing of my life. I have to trust that the tapestry is going to come together in a way that is absolutely beautiful. That gets more challenging as we get older, to believe in the timing of our lives, because there is this sense of our mortality and there seems to be a finite amount of time to complete the things that are important to us. Maybe, like a dear friend of mine, her name is Becca, you wanted to have children, but at 45 or 50, you're still waiting to meet the right man or woman. My friend had to make peace with letting that dream go. And then she met the most amazing man that she fell in love with, and he definitely loved her and wanted to marry her, but he didn't want any more children. He already had children from a previous marriage, and they were like grown-ups. So Becca and this man, came into each other's lives at the right time, and they've been married for 10 years, and they are very happy. She doesn't feel like anything's missing from their union. I want to ask you, where in your life are you stressed out and not trusting the timing of your life? Yes, this podcast is about love and relationships, but we are multifaceted human beings. And this topic about trusting the timing of your life can apply to so many things. And dare I say, those things are interconnected. So if you're still waiting on love, learn to trust the timing of your life in all of the areas and just see what happens. You never know. Okay, that's what I've got for you today. I wanted to tell you that I am on Instagram, finally, with Women Being Loved. That's the page, or is it a page on Instagram? See, I know nothing. I'm learning. I'm learning. But if you are on Instagram, please feel free to come over and like my page. Let's just go with page. I don't know. I haven't really posted anything yet, but I am going to. I'm just figuring all of that out. As usual, I love you. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you, and I will see you soon.